Hello and a warm welcome to South Asia Today, where we bring you in-depth insights into the key events shaping South Asia. I'm Shivangi Mishra, and on today's top stories. India's steel industry leads transformation. Nepal's midday meal keeps children in school. And POJK unrest echoes at the United Nations. Let's begin the show. From bridges and metro networks to soaring skylines, steel is powering India's infrastructure transformation. As the world's second largest steel producer, India is expanding domestic production, boosting exports, and driving innovation. At the heart of this growth is Jamshedpur, where industry and technology are shaping the future of Indian steel.
India's infrastructure boom is reshaping the nation, from expanding highways and high-speed rail networks to modern airports, metro systems, and soaring skylines. Powering this transformation is a rapidly growing steel industry. Today, India is among the world's leading steel producers, with growth driven not only by large integrated steel plants but also by hundreds of small and medium-sized enterprises across the country. The momentum is reflected in the numbers. Finished steel consumption has more than doubled from nearly 77 million tons in 2014-15 to around 163 million tons in 2025-26. India's growing global competitiveness is also evident in trade. In March 2026, steel exports rose 29.1% year-on-year, while imports fell 9.5%, underscoring the country's emergence as a stronger global steel manufacturing hub.
Steel industry, India is the bright spot. Our production levels have gone up drastically, almost up to 15%. We produced close to 152 million tons in financial year 25. Compared to that, in financial year 26, we produced 168 million tons. And our consumption has also been very good. We consumed almost 164 million tons. This is possible because of the positive outlook by the government of India, followed by the states.
At the heart of India's steel industry is Jamshedpur, the country's iconic steel city. Home to Tata Steel and nearly 1,200 large and small enterprises, the city has evolved into a thriving industrial ecosystem. Here, steel is transformed into precision-engineered components that power industries ranging from mining and cement to infrastructure and manufacturing. Conveyor systems and other critical industrial equipment produced in Jamshedpur play a vital role in keeping India's factories and heavy industries moving.
जो हम लोग प्रोडक्ट बनाते हैं वो प्रोडक्ट बनाते हैं हाइब्रिड आइडलर, चाहे वो स्टील इंडस्ट्री है, चाहे वो माइनिंग है, चाहे सीमेंट इंडस्ट्री है या फिर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के अदर इंडस्ट्री हैं. इसमें क्या है, टन्स ऑफ द मटेरियल जो मिनरल्स हैं वो एक जगह से दूसरी जगह ले जाया जाता है, ट्रांसपोर्ट किया जाता है. तो ट्रांसपोर्टेशन के बहुत से हैं, रेलवे एंड ऑल उसकी नहीं, लेकिन विद इन द फैक्ट्री ये मैक्सिमम जो ट्रांसफ़र होता है एक जगह से दूसरी जगह ले जाना, वो होता है कन्वेयर बेल्ट के थ्रू.
India's steel industry is undergoing a technology-driven transformation. In Jamshedpur, startups are developing advanced robotic systems that are making steel plants smarter, safer, and more efficient. From handling heavy materials to operating in hazardous environments, these innovations are boosting productivity while enhancing workplace safely.
टिपिकली इस तरह की इंडस्ट्री स्टील एंड आयरन, ऑयल एंड गैस, एनर्जी और डिफेंस सेक्टर में होती है, जहाँ पे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बहुत लार्ज है और ऑटोनॉमी हमें अनस्ट्रक्चर्ड इन्वायरमेंट में देनी होती है. रोबोट को एक अनस्ट्रक्चर्ड एरिया में काम करना होता है विद इट ओन इंटेलिजेंस. So here what we are trying to build is the overall technological stack that includes the hardware, the software and the autonomy, that typically enables the robot to work in these industries.
Driven by innovation, infrastructure growth, supportive policies, and a strong focus on domestic manufacturing, India's steel industry is reaching new heights, with Jamshedpur as its core.
एशिया की सबसे बड़े स्मॉल स्केल इंडस्ट्री यहीं पे है और सारी इंडस्ट्री टाटा पे ही डिपेंडेंट है। हमारे जो प्रोडक्ट्स सब हैं वो तो रेगुलर यूज़ होते हैं, मतलब जब तक स्टील इंडस्ट्री और माइंसेस रहेगी ये हमेशा ही प्रोडक्ट यूज़ होते रहेंगे।
Today, steel is more than just an industry. It is the backbone of India's development journey. From large integrated steel plants to small manufacturers and emerging technology startups, every link in the value chain is driving a stronger, more self-reliant and industrially advanced India.
A nutritious meal can do much more than satisfy hunger. It can change a child's future. In Nepal, the government's midday meal program is helping improve school attendance, support children's health, and encourage learning, particularly in remote and economically weaker communities. Backed by sustained government funding and policy support, the initiative is emerging as an important investment in the country's future. Here's a report on how this simple intervention is making a meaningful difference in classrooms across Nepal.
As the bell rings for the tiffin break, students quickly line up carrying lunchboxes, plates, or whatever they can find to collect their meal. For many, this daily lunch break is more than just a chance to eat. It is one of the biggest reasons they come to school every day. Among them is Shishir Paracha, a 5th grade student at Sri Bal Jeevan Jyoti Secondary School in Makwanpur, a region home to the marginalized Shepang community.
किनकि स्कुलमा खाजा दिन्छ त्यही भएर घरको पैसा नि बच्छ।
The midday meal program, locally known as Diva Khaja Karikram, is one of Nepal's flagship social welfare initiatives aimed at improving education, nutrition, and poverty reduction by providing free meals to children in community schools. At Sri Bal Jeevan Jyoti Secondary School, around 130 students receive one nutritious meal every school day. The menu rotates through 5 different options each week, while a non-vegetarian meal is served once every month. Meals are prepared in a modest makeshift kitchen beneath a staircase and are inspected daily by the school nurse to ensure quality and hygiene. Schools are also encouraged to include eggs, milk, pulses, and seasonal vegetables to improve the nutritional value of the meals. The government currently allocates $0.13 USD per student per day for the program, with higher funding provided to schools in Nepal's remote and far western districts.
र यो खाजाको कारणले गर्दाखेरि विद्यार्थीहरू चाहिँ अत्यन्तै उत्साहित हुने, उनीहरूलाई चाहिँ विशेष गरी चाहिँ यो दिवा खाजाले उपस्थितिलाई पनि एकदमै निरन्तरता दिइरहेको छ विद्यालयमा। विद्यार्थीहरू नियमित हुने र अर्को कुरा के छ त भन्दा हाम्रो यो एरिया भनेको चाहिँ कस्तो छ भने यहाँ पढ्ने बालबालिकाहरू चाहिँ विशेष गरी एकदमै निम्न स्तरको चाहिँ आय स्तर भएका चाहिँ जुन अभिभावकका छोराछोरीहरू पढ्ने भएको हुनाले यहाँ विशेषतः चेपाङ कम्युनिटीका बालबच्चाहरू पनि यो विद्यालयमा आउँछन् र चेपाङ कम्युनिटीका चाहिँ बालबालिकाहरू पनि यो विद्यालयमा आउने भएको हुनाले उनीहरूको पारिवारिक अवस्था पनि एकदमै कमजोर छ। घरमा उनीहरूले भने जसरी खानपान गर्न पनि उनीहरूलाई अप्ठ्यारो छ र तसर्थ उनीहरू यस्ता खाले बालबालिकाको निम्ति हामीले चाहिँ यो दिवा खाजा चाहिँ खुवाउँछौँ र यो दिवा खाजा
The government of Nepal made the midday meal program mandatory in all basic level community schools by creating a dedicated budget line in 2020 to 21 financial year, expanding it from a targeted scheme to a nationwide program. Under the School Education Sector Plan, that is 2022 to 2032, the government aims to extend coverage to class 8th and benefit around 5.3 million students by 2032.
कतिपय विद्यालयहरूमा त दिवा खाजाले गर्दाखेरि विद्यार्थी सङ्ख्याको उपस्थिति उल्लेखनीय भएको विद्यार्थीहरू चाहिँ कतिपय विद्यार्थीहरू चाहिँ घरमा चाहिँ हैन विभिन्न कारणले गर्दा चाहिँ खाना नखाई आउने खालको कन्डिसन पनि भएको भनेर पनि शिक्षक साथीहरूले हामीलाई भन्नुहुन्छ त्यो हिसाबमा चाहिँ एउटा चाहिँ पौष्टिकतायुक्त चाहिँ खाजाको रूपमा दिवा खाजा जुन चाहिँ विद्यार्थीहरूले चाहिँ टिफिन समयमा पाइरहनु भएको छ त्यसले चाहिँ पक्कै पनि शिक्षाको गुणस्तरमा पनि यसले ठिक ढङ्गले चाहिँ काम गरेको छ विद्यार्थीको विद्यालयमा आउने दर जुन पहुँचको कुरा छ त्यो पहुँचको कुरामा पनि यसले सहयोग गरेको छ भन्न सकिन्छ
The National Education Policy promotes school meals to improve attendance and reduce dropouts, while subsequent guidelines strengthen nutrition standards, food quality, and local agricultural procurement. The School Education Sector Plan outlines future expansion and financing. An Asian Development Bank evaluation found the program improved school access, particularly for girls and vulnerable children, contributing to better gender parity in primary education.
Now we take a look at some happenings in Asia in a segment called Asia Watch.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi said India's relationship with Australia presented historic opportunities for both countries to cooperate in nuclear and renewable energy, critical minerals and green hydrogen. He was speaking at the Australia-India Economic Roadmap business event after arriving in Melbourne on Wednesday night. The visit comes as both countries seek to deepen economic ties, with India eyeing Australia's uranium reserves to help meet a target of 100 gigawatts of nuclear energy capacity by 2047 and Australia looking to diversify trade beyond its reliance on China, its top partner. Australia's largest pension fund, Australian Super, said on Thursday it would invest a further 500 million Australian dollars, $347 million, in India's National Investment and Infrastructure Fund. The Australian Financial Review newspaper reported on Wednesday that an agreement on uranium exports to India could be finalized. Though both nations agreed to a nuclear cooperation pact in 2014, uranium exports have been limited over concerns about ensuring nuclear fuel is used solely for peaceful purposes, such as energy generation. India is Australia's fifth largest trading partner after China, Japan, the US and South Korea, while around 1 million people in Australia claim Indian ancestry. In the Taiwanese fishing port of Ilan, dozens of boats were packed into the harbor as Super Typhoon Bavi churned in the region, with winds near 200 km per hour, 124 miles per hour. Bavi is set to be the largest storm by size to hit Taiwan since 1987, a forecaster from Taiwan's Central Weather Administration adding that storms of this size have been fairly rare in recent years. Chen Minghui, a 60-year-old captain of a 3-metric-ton fishing vessel, said he hoped the typhoon would track further north and avoid a direct hit, recalling how previous storms had sunk boats and flooded the fishing town. Bavi, currently about 1,000 kilometers, 621 miles, at its widest point or roughly the width of France, is forecast to skirt northern Taiwan before making landfall in China's eastern Fujian province on Saturday, July 11th, evening, according to China's National Meteorological Center. A Swiss humanoid robot capable of displaying the faces of world leaders and business executives was on display at the AI for Good Global Summit in Geneva recently as developers showcased how artificial intelligence could make human-machine interactions more natural. Unlike many humanoid robots with fixed, expressionless features, Robert uses a screen to display different identities and emotions, allowing it to smile, react, and communicate non-verbally with users. Robert was presented to visitors attending the United Nations-backed AI for Good Summit, where attendees stopped to take photographs and interact with the machine. The robot's digital face can be changed instantly, enabling it to mimic different people while clearly remaining a robot. The project features tables and other household items mounted on mobile robotic platforms that can move autonomously around a room. Users can rearrange layouts through a tablet interface or request furniture to clear a path through cluttered spaces.
As unrest continues in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, anger is mounting over the crackdown on peaceful protesters on June 7th, in which several people were killed and many others injured. The issue has now resonated beyond the region, with members of the Kashmiri diaspora raising concerns at the United Nations and accusing the Pakistani government and military of serious human rights violations. We have this report.
Rawalakot and several other cities across Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir continue to witness unrest as protests persist over the June 7 crackdown, in which several demonstrators were killed and many others injured. The protests, driven by demands for greater political representation, local rights and governance reforms, have now drawn international attention. On the sidelines of the 62nd UN Human Rights Session in Geneva, members of the Kashmiri diaspora organized a conference highlighting the situation in POJK. Speakers alleged that political activists and local residents have faced arrests, restrictions and intimidation for raising concerns over governance, economic hardships and civil rights. Describing the situation in Rawalakot and other parts of the region as deeply alarming, they called on the international community to take greater note of the plight of the people.
Also strongly condemn Pakistan crackdown on civil rights movement under the aegis of Jammu Kashmir Joint Awami Action Committee (JKJAC) in Pakistan occupied territories of Jammu and Kashmir. Number 2. We call upon Government of Pakistan to immediately withdraw its security forces. We vehemently demand that Government of Pakistan must end siege, lift communication blackout and blockade and other draconian laws, including Schedule 4.
The conference also highlighted what speakers described as a systematic crackdown on dissent in POJK. They alleged that political activists and civil rights advocates have faced arrests, restrictions and the use of force, with peaceful calls for rights and accountability being met with intimidation and repression.
इस आजाद कश्मीर में ये कोई पहली दफा नहीं है कि जब लोगों पे गोली चली या लोगों को मारा गया, लोगों को कान पकड़ाए गए और जेलों के अंदर डाल के उनके तशद्दुद किया गया, और ना ही ये पहली दफा हुआ। हमें आजाद कश्मीर के लोगों की मजबूरियों का भी एहसास है और इस मुद्दे की जो ज्योग्राफिकल पोजीशन है उसका भी एहसास है। ये एक लैंड लॉक और एक्चुअली वर्षों से पाकिस्तान की ब्यूरोक्रेसी इसी इशू को एक्सप्लेन करती रही कि तेरा तो रिस्क यहाँ से जाता है, तेरी तो सब्जी यहाँ से जाती है, तुम्हारी तो हर चीज जो है, लिहाजा आपको ये हक नहीं है कि आप हक की बात करें, राइट्स की बात करें।
Following the June 7 crackdown, members of the Kashmiri diaspora have staged protests outside Pakistani embassies and consulates across the UK and Europe, demanding justice and urging the international community to address alleged human rights violations in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Speakers at these demonstrations alleged that people in POJK have endured decades of political, economic and social challenges, citing restrictions on civil rights, limited employment opportunities and inadequate access to essential services such as healthcare, education and sanitation.
We now take you to Ladakh, where a massive infrastructure push is reshaping the region. New roads, tunnels, and strategic connectivity projects are creating all-weather access, reducing travel time, boosting tourism, strengthening defense logistics, and unlocking fresh opportunities for growth. Here's a report.
Road connectivity in Ladakh has undergone a remarkable transformation. More than 1,670 kilometers of roads have been constructed, upgraded or blacktopped under projects worth Rs 20,660 crore. Driven by the Border Roads Organization and the National Highways and Infrastructure Development Corporation Limited, these engineering feats are providing all-weather connectivity, linking remote communities, strengthening strategic mobility and accelerating Ladakh's economic growth.
7 महीने 8 महीने बर्फ से ढका रहता है, वहां पर कोई एक्टिविटी नहीं होती। अब वो सभी क्षेत्र, चाहे वो जोजिला टनल हो, चाहे रेलवे का प्रोजेक्ट हो, उसके कारण से 24/7 12 मंथ्स लेह में भी और आसपास भी टूरिज्म आ पाएगा, टूरिस्ट आ पाएगा।
Ladakh's expanding all-weather connectivity has transformed life across the region. Faster, safer travel has boosted tourism, improved access to healthcare, markets, and essential services, and ensured uninterrupted trade for remote communities. At the same time, strategic infrastructure projects have significantly enhanced year-round military mobility and operational preparedness along the line of actual control.
पूरे लद्दाख में 250 से एबो पॉपुलेशन कोई ऐसा हैबिटेशन नहीं है जो कनेक्ट नहीं हुआ है। तो इससे आप अंदाज़ा लगा सकते हैं कि हमारा पीएमजीएसवाई जो है उसमें हमारा 100% जो है 250 एबो जो है पॉपुलेशन ऑलरेडी कनेक्टेड है विथ ऑल वेदर रोड, यानी वो फेयर वेदर नहीं है, वो बीटी रोड है, ऑल वेदर रोड से कनेक्ट किया जा चुका है। तो फंड्स का मतलब कोई ये इशू है नहीं। हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में और हर बॉर्डर विलेज में हमारा आप देख लीजिए काम चल रहा है, चाहे सीआरएफ में हो, चाहे पीएमजीएसवाई में हो, चाहे स्पेशल डेवलपमेंट पैकेज में हो, चाहे स्टेट सेक्टर में, चाहे डिस्ट्रिक्ट कैपेक्स में हो, यानी मतलब हर जगह हमारा इक्वली काम चल रहा है।
यूटी बनने के बाद पूरा चेंज हुआ है लद्दाख। लद्दाख के ऐसे ऐसे गांव थे जिसमें सोच भी नहीं सकते थे हम 100 साल तक रोड बनेगा। तो ले सिटी को गांव, हर गांव से जोड़ गया है और सिटी को ही दिल्ली से, श्रीनगर से, मनाली से जोड़ने का भी बहुत सारे रोड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बने हैं। अभी हमारे सियाचन में जाते हुए, गलवन वैली में जाते हुए आज लोग मोटरसाइकिल चला रहे हैं। इतना रोड अच्छे बने हैं और काफी जो जुजिला टनल बनने के बाद और बाकी जो शिंकुला टनल, इन सबको बनने के बाद लद्दाख एकदम दिल्ली के नजदीक पहुंच गया है।
Improved transport networks in Ladakh have boosted trade, expanded access to essential services, and opened new avenues for businesses and livelihoods. Beyond roads and highways, these projects are generating employment, strengthening regional integration, and reinforcing Ladakh's strategic and economic significance.
As we wrap up today's episode of South Asia Today, we thank you for joining us. We'll return next week at the same time with more insights and updates. This is Shivangi Mishra signing off on behalf of our entire team. Until then, stay safe and goodbye.